Every spiritual seeker wants to be more connected to their intuition, to be more powerful at manifestation, and to experience freedom, honestly, freedom, and the excitement that comes from living in alignment with spiritual powers, your spiritual powers. In this video, I'm going to tell you what you should, if I can use that dirty word, what you should be doing to create a greater intuitive connection and to be more magnetic for manifestation. We're also going to call in an archangel for you. I'm excited to connect with you today. Now, it's going to seem very simple, I think. And some of you who are practitioners or maybe even healers and guides yourselves, you might go, yeah, I know this. And so do I. But it is something that cannot be overlooked. And the beauty of the simplicity of it, I think, is just showing us how this universe is based on compassion and acceptance and love. And what I'm talking about here is healing and regulating your nervous system more and more and more every single day. So healing your nervous system is something that is the overarching, bigger process that we're under, because your nervous system is damaged. It's damaged by trauma, and those can be big traumas and small traumas. They can be the micro traumas that are happening every day as we see what's going on in the world and we see people being cruel and mean to each other and unkind, whether we see it on broadcast or social media or we come about it in our day. These things are just happening all around us, and your tender and beautiful heart is receiving it. And that heart, that you're feeling it as you receive it or witness it, because even just witnessing unkindness, witnessing discompassion is a micro trauma for you, at the very least a micro trauma. That is damage that has created damage to our nervous system. If you can imagine that your home, if the floor was falling through and the floorboards were broken and you stepped through the floorboards and you fell down into the dirt beneath you and there was all kinds of unhealthy fungus beneath that floor, and you need to repair that floor so you can walk safely around in your home, safely, healthfully, cleanly around in your home. That's your nervous system that has overarching damage. That's healing your nervous system. And then also regulating your nervous system. And the regulating of your nervous system is how you heal it. Regulating your nervous system is little by little making those little corrections to it, so that if you can imagine this grand nerve of your nervous system called the polyvagal nervous system or the polyvagus nerve, that as it is damaged, the regulating that you're doing each day, many, many times a day, noticing when you are dysregulated, noticing when you are in fight flight, and then finding a way to recognize I don't actually have to fight or flee for my life in this moment, so I can regulate my nervous system. And if you're wondering how do I regulate my nervous system, I'm about to tell you. I just want to explain to you how important it is. Regulating your nervous system in the face of a true trauma, in the face of a trauma that is maybe micro to minor. Because, of course, if your life is literally being threatened, it is appropriate for your nervous system to have a moment of dysregulation, but it actually pushes you to the next stage to actually be able to summon resources to fight or flee for your life. Barring having to run or fight for your life, dysregulated nervous system is actually not helping in the moment. And what happens is we dysregulate a little bit, and then we don't need it, so then we're just damaging the nervous system little by little. So then how we regulate our nervous system, the simple, beautiful, it's like achingly beautiful in a way, is our breath. Now, some people, you may be familiar with breath work, and that is a powerful process. And breath work, there are many different styles of breath work, some that actually work to target and release limited emotions, feelings, beliefs, and to release and resource yourself to heal trauma. I'm talking about the simple breathing that we actually probably stop doing throughout the day. So when you are feeling dysregulated, and what does dysregulated feel like? It feels like worry, stress. It feels like sometimes where you even feel it in your body. Sometimes you don't feel it in your body and you just know that I'm worrying or I'm stressed out or I have anxiety. And actually, depression is a form of anxiety as well. I'm really bummed out. Now, I'm not telling you in this to avoid your emotions. No, in fact, you can regulate your nervous system and hold space for your emotions to process. It's interesting. You would think, well, if I'm stressed out and you're telling me that being stressed out is dysregulating my nervous system, then I have to just stop feeling the emotion. No, you can actually breathe and hold space for the emotion. And what I do in that situation is I might go, I'm feeling worried right now, and that's okay. That is human, that is appropriate, and that is something that I can experience. And as I'm allowing myself to have those worrying emotions, I breathe through it. I actually give more concerned and interested space and attention for that emotion to process while regulating my nervous system. Because here's the thing, we can have uncomfortable emotions without asking our nervous system to become extremely dysregulated. So you might have a little less regulation, but if you're breathing and you are intentionally breathing and holding space for that emotion to process, it is necessarily true that your nervous system will be regulated because it only works in a binary way. Either it's in fight flight, which we call the sympathetic, or it is in what we kind of term rest and digest, which is the parasympathetic. And if you are breathing intentionally and slowly, you cannot be in fight flight. Or you might say, if you're in fight flight, it actually turns off fight flight if you breathe slowly and easily. Now, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, if you've ever almost gotten into a car accident and it really seems like it's about to happen. I've noticed that when it really seems like, oh, this is about to happen, or maybe it has happened, I actually get this almost like the matrix slows down and my arms relax. Maybe I'm still pressing on the brake really hard or trying to maneuver, but there is a clarity and a focus that comes in. That is actually you moving past fight flight into the full launch of how your body can carry you out of a situation. And your nervous system comes into some kind of regulation. It is when you're holding your breath, which you may not recognize that you're doing. So this is also another way to say mindfulness, to be very present to what it is you're doing in that moment. Mindfulness is something that is, a lot of people that are tangential to spirituality, maybe they're not fully into metaphysics and mysticism, but they're into mindfulness because it has been clinically proven to create health, well-being, to lower inflammation, to bring mental health to us, to be mindful and present to every moment as much as possible. So that is how breathing slowly and easily can actually bring in the moment. Being mindful and present with even a difficult or uncomfortable emotion as healing your nervous system. And by the way, I have to now launch into the part how this is going to enhance your intuition for your life, your psychic or intuitive abilities, and your manifestation magnetism. Because as our nervous system is healed and as we are taking the moments to nurture ourselves, as I said at the very beginning, that is self-care and self-love. And that is how the universe can find you. It's like the universe only sees you as divine and beautiful and deserving of absolutely all of the love and abundance and compassion. So if we are affirming something about ourselves that is out of alignment with love, compassion, acceptance, and abundance, it's like the universe is like, I don't even know how to talk to you. We're not speaking the same language. You see how it actually makes you magnetic? Here's another way, and this came through in a channeling session where someone asked, I was channeling Archangel Michael, and someone asked, how can I shift my job? And, how can I have a work situation that's better for me? And Michael said, regulate your nervous system, breathe, because as you're healing your nervous system, you're balancing the element of fire within you. And fire and air are magnetic qualities when these are all balanced in you. And as we said, it also it also reduces inflammation, and that is having your water element find the right calibration too, because if we have too much blood in one area, that's too much water element in one area. And then, of course, earth, because your earth element is out of balance when we have inflammation, or when we're holding our breath, or when our fire is too activated, or if we're depressed, underactivated. So you see how stopping, and I'm going to give you a challenge here in a moment, to breathe and thinking about this, now that you know what regulating your nervous system is, I want you to put this top of mind throughout your day. Now that you know what regulating your nervous system is, I want you to put this top of mind throughout your day so that you can regulate it, because this is how you're going to be able to tap into your intuition. Breath is called respiration, inspiration, and that all is the root word of spirit. You notice that intuitives, and whether you're an intuitive or you've seen an intuitive at work, they go like this when they're going to tap in. That is spirit infilling you. So that will tap you into your intuition, and that will balance your fire, water, air, and earth. It will help the universe to see you and be able to have a conversation with you. And as I said, it is the language of your soul. It will put you in alignment with your soul's blueprint, and it will make you magnetic. And also, just in the simple pragmatic ways, if we are in a regulated nervous system and our fight flight is turned off, we can see what is here for us. We can pay attention to how to move forward in our life. We can spark the relationships that will be collaborative ones for manifestation and for us to be in that alignment. So my challenge for you is to set an alarm for 5 times a day. Now, I would say the waking and the sleeping to stop and do 5 slow and easy breaths. And if you want to imagine that you're connecting with your heart and that your heart is opening, and if you want to add to it any affirmation that is helping you that day, because you know what affirmations are, they're hypnotic suggestions. You know, when you regulate your nervous system and you breathe 5 slow and intentional, easy, really delicious breaths, you are actually shifting your state, which is a way to say that you're inducing yourself a little bit into a positive hypnotic state instead of a negative hypnotic state of fight flight. You're shifting your state. So I would say once at waking before you start to turn on the world, once right before you go to sleep. So that means set an alarm for 3 times during the day. Now, of course, you could do it more than that. But if you set an alarm, kind of split up your day, and you will, no matter what, stop and breathe 5 slow and easy breaths. This will create a profound overarching healing to your nervous system and will shift you into that spiritual alignment in that moment. Now, I want to ask you to add, if you would like, to this practice, an archangel. Adding an archangel who can guide you. Now, whether this is an ongoing relationship or if it's just for that day. So we're going to call in right now an angel to help you with this. And we're just going to call on one of the 4 cardinal archangels. These archangels I'm about to mention, they each oversee one of the physical elements, as we've been talking about fire, earth, water, and air. Of course, they're all connected to the element of aether or spirit. So if you want to take a moment and just let your intuition guide you, I'm going to say the name of the angel and the element that they oversee, and whichever one kind of just lights up for you, stands out for you, that is the angel who wants to guide you in this practice today, that you can call on for as long as you feel that particular, connection. Maybe it's for a week, maybe it's 6 months. Maybe tomorrow you tap into one of the other 4, one of the, other 3 of the 4 cardinal archangels that we're going to call in. So now if you want to take a breath and close your eyes again, if it's safe to do so, we're going to start with Archangel Michael, oversees the element of fire. Now we're going to move to Archangel Gabriel, oversees the element of water. Now Archangel Uriel oversees the element of earth. And finally now, Archangel Raphael oversees the element of air. Now you could also go around and actually call on all 4 of them as your practice. And then a 5th breath, calling on all universal powers of alignment for your highest benefit. So there is one of your practices. And if you want to put in the comments, was there a particular angel that seemed to stand out for you in that practice? Take a moment to just notice what you noticed about that practice and a particular angel, and we'll move on to our next segment. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you want to see more, then of course do subscribe and click the bell so you get notifications for when I'm going live and when I post other videos. Also be sure to check the description because there are all kinds of things going on in courses and services. There's also some free gifts that will subscribe you to my newsletter so that you can get notified when anything's happening on this channel. And of course, when I'm doing things like deals, special deals on services and courses. I am so grateful to connect with you. Thanks for tuning in. I love you, whoever you are.